If you've ever found yourself in a relationship where the other person tries to control everything about the relationship, what you do, your opinions about things, how you do the things you do, you know how frustrating that can be. If you've also ever found yourself in a relationship where the other person seems to give little or no thought to how their behaviors and actions impact you, that can also be frustrating. So I believe that a proper understanding and application of just two key concepts in relationship help us navigate both of these situations, and that's what we're going to talk about today on Relationshots. Hey, welcome to Relationshots. My name is Eric Wooten. If this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome to the place to get practical relationship advice that actually works in your relationship. If you have not already done so, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss any upcoming videos. If you want a free guide to intimacy, you'll see a link in the description area below where you can download that. If we can help you in any area of your relationship, we'd love to do that. Check out the description area below for classes, our marriage membership, our upcoming 4-day marriage retreat is going to be awesome as well. Any information you need will be in the description area below as well. So let's talk about this concept of kind of control and freedom in a relationship. And here's the reality. Many times in relationship, we get stuck in a situation where one person wants to control everything. They want to determine what the other person wears, how they act, who their friends are, where they go, almost saying you get no identity of your own outside of being in a relationship with me. And then the flip side of that coin is the person who's like, dude, you ain't telling me nothing. I'm a human being. I'm an adult. I'm my own individual. I'm going to go where I want, when I want. I'm going to do what I want, whenever I want. I'm going to do things how I want, and nobody else is going to try to control me. Neither one of those scenarios are real healthy in a relationship. And so what I've discovered is there's a couple key concepts that at first glance seem contradictory, but are actually very complementary when done in a healthy way in a relationship. And so these two concepts that I think every relationship needs to be healthy are freedom and limits. Every relationship needs both freedom and limits in order to be healthy. So let's talk about those two. Freedom first. Love thrives in an environment of freedom. We need to have freedom in a relationship to maintain our own identity. We need to have freedom to be able to say no where there's control and manipulation. Love is going to die. When somebody is not allowing somebody else to be who they are individually, love will die. See, part of a healthy relationship is that we value our differences. We value individuality. And so if you ever get into a situation where one person seems to punish another person for tastes that they don't agree with, for perspectives they don't agree with, for making choices that they wouldn't make, that's not going to be healthy. And when I say choices, I don't mean unethical, illegal, immoral choices. I just mean sometimes we have differences in how we want to accomplish things. And oftentimes you may look at a partner and go, man, the way they're doing it is inefficient, doesn't make sense. And so you want to correct them, you want to control them. No, don't pour the chips in the bowl that way. No, the ketchup doesn't go in the fridge, it goes in the pantry. And so we try to control, no, don't do the toothpaste that way, do it this way. You need a new towel every time you take a shower. Don't use the same towel twice. We can start to control every little thing because we think our way is right. But when control comes into a relationship, love dies in that relationship. We need to have freedom in a relationship. Loving somebody means that you want to see that person become the best version of themselves, even when it has nothing to do with the relationship. Oftentimes, we just want them to become the best we want them to be that makes us feel best in relationship with them. That's not freedom. That's trying to control them for your own benefit. So we've got to have this thing called freedom in a relationship. I got to have freedom to say no to my partner in a relationship sometimes. No, I don't want to go do that thing. Now, we don't want to do that every time. That's rejection all the time. But we do have to have the freedom where I don't feel like if I say no to something that my partner invites me to do, they're going to punish me somehow. The silent treatment, they're going to pout, they're going to get frustrated, they're going to try to get me back the next time I invite them. That's not freedom. So in a healthy relationship, We need this thing called freedom, but the partner actually has to act responsibly with the freedom given to them, right? So we don't want to be checking on each other all the time, but we don't want to take that freedom and go do stuff that actually is damaging to the relationships, which is why the second component comes into play, limits. Every relationship needs freedom, but every relationship also needs limits. Listen, the reality is we all have the ability to get out of line at times, even when we're not trying to, where our behaviors and our actions may not line up with our values and may be damaging to the relationship. We all have the ability to do that unconsciously at times and often be blinded to the things we're doing. And on the flip side, we also have times when we know what we're doing, but we're selfish in that moment and we go, I'm going to do what I want to do, even though I think it hurts the relationship. In those moments, our partner needs the ability to rebuke and correct us, to give discipline and limits to us in our lives, and we need outside people who can do that as well. If you're a person of faith, there's a Proverb 27 verses 5 and 6 that says, open rebuke is better than hidden love. The wounds of a friend can be trusted. The idea behind that is that love is not devoid of correction or discipline or rebuke. If somebody loves you, rebuke is actually an act of love. And if you trust a friend, their wounds, I'm not saying they're trying to hurt you, but when they challenge you and it hurts some, that's actually a good thing. So listen, if you struggle with discipline and correction, relationship will be hard for you. We need that in our lives. There's going to be times when we need limits because our behavior is damaging the relationship or is destructive to ourselves. Man, when we got anger, if we got addiction issues, if we got risky or unhealthy behaviors, we need the ability for our partner to set limits on us because that behavior is not only hurting you, but is actually damaging our relationship, causing disconnection in the relationship. And we need to have the ability to challenge each other when that's happening. So in a healthy relationship, we have freedom. You're your own individual. You can do stuff apart from me. Everything we do doesn't have to be the two of us. You have the freedom to tell me no at times if you don't want to do the things I invite you into. But we've given each other freedom because that's where love thrives. But we also set limits for one another based on what we say we value, which is why it's so important at the beginning of a relationship to be in relationship with somebody who has similar shared values with you, because now we've already determined what the guardrails are that we're going to operate in between. And so now when we're correcting or we're disciplining, it's based on the values we agreed upon, not some arbitrary thing I made up and, well, that's my rule, and so now I need to correct you on that rule. Well, I'm not in agreement on the rule that you said. That we got to be in agreement on our values and expectations around behavior. And when we are, we need freedom and we need limits in a relationship. Healthy relationships have both. We're not trying to control. We're not trying to manipulate. We're not trying to make the other person into who we think they should be. But at the same time, we don't have just this wide open freedom to do whatever we want without considering the other person that we've made a commitment to in the relationship. That's freedom and limits. Love to hear your thoughts on this. If you think these two concepts are present in your relationship, if they're necessary, how we get out of hand on both sides with these, let's talk about it in the comment section below. If we can help you in any way in your relationship, would love to do that. Maybe it's our marriage membership, an upcoming class, or just some free resources on the website. Check that out in the description area below. And until next time, I'll see you right back here on Relationshops.